right behind me, I've got the 2025 Ford F-150 Raptor. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles here in Canada, so reviews just like this. If you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to Mayfield Ford for allowing me to review their Raptor. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the Ford F-150s, the safety features that you get with the Raptors. I'm also going to touch on the engine specs, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course, the pricing. All right, let's talk about the different models that you do get with the Ford F-150s. Now, keep in mind, the Raptors do come in the Super Crew configuration, and with the different models that's available, you can get models like the XL, STX, XLT, Tremor, Lariat, King Ranch, the Platinum, and of course, the Raptor here. All right, so now let's talk about the different safety features that you do get with the Raptors. Now, this will include things like the Bliss with cross traffic alert and trailer tow coverage, the post-collision braking, lane keeping system, the Pro Trailer Backup Assist, forward collision warning, the 360 camera, pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking, and the rear parking sensors. All right, now let's talk about the engine specs here for a second. Now you can get two different variants with the Raptors. The standard, which this one has, is the 3.5 liter V6 EcoBoost high output engine, or you can upgrade to the 5.2 liter supercharged V8 engine. Now with this one, the one that just comes standard with it, you're looking at 450 horsepower and 510 pound-foot of torque. And if you're wondering about the fuel economy, well, if you're getting a Raptor, I really don't think you're going to be worried about the fuel economy. In terms of towing, however, with this engine and with the Raptor here, you can tow about 8,200 pounds when equipped properly. All right, well, let's jump right into it and take a look at the front end of this mean, aggressive-looking Raptor. I love the designing on these. This just looks so menacing, especially if it's coming down the road and you're looking in your rear view mirror. Well, you better move out of the way. And just a quick side note, this does not have any optional upgrades to it. The only thing that this does have is the dual pane sunroof added to it, and I'll show you that once we do go inside. Now, let's start off in the front. Like I mentioned, for your bumper, you get a full steel bumper. There's no plastic on this bad boy. You will have the little plastic pieces here, and then the middle section here, you do kind of have like this lower open grille area with the shutters inside, and of course your skid plate. There's also the tow hooks or the recovery hooks in the front, and you do have the front safety sensors that do run across. There's also these very unique looking LED fog lights. Really like how these look. It also says Raptor here, and then of course the company name for the LED, Rigid. But yeah, that's what the bumper area looks like. And then you just move into your grille area. This is probably one of my favorite parts on this truck here, because you have this massive Ford letters. And even if you look closely, you kind of have these letters in granite with the nice little designing here. But the grille overall, very nicely designed. I like the matte finish on this. It's not like the glossy, and it really suits this truck in particular. And of course, you have all of your openings and whatnot. You also have a front-facing camera with a washer. You've also got your amber lights up top right there. And then you move into these very cool and unique looking LED lights here. I really like the amber that goes around, and then you have the middle section for your typical lights. A very nice look on this truck. And another thing that you'll notice, just like these lights up here, you also have them on the fenders on both of the sides. And then if you make your way to the hood here, you have this like plastic area with the functional venting there. There's also the Raptor badging on that side and on this side as well. So that's a nice little touch, especially with the hood scoop area. Gives it an even more aggressive look. And if you know a thing or two about the Raptors, you know these things are pretty wide. As you can see, the side profile on this is very aggressive with just the body lines and everything. And as you make your way to the side of the truck here is what it looks like. Even from the side, I really like the look and all of the bits and pieces that this thing has. Now, like I was mentioning, the upgraded option that this does have is the dual pane sunroof right up there. I think that's a must-have in any vehicle. Around your windows, the top area that goes around right here is the body color, and then you have your typical plastic look area here. Now, the door handles are also body color, and then if you move to your side mirror, also body color. You got the black plastic here, got the lights here, turn signal, and then your side mirror camera. This does have cameras all around, like I was mentioning, and I'll show you that once we go inside. Also on this, you do have your running boards. And then if you go onto the fender area, you have another functional vent. This is also in the black plastic, so you got the venting right here, and there's one on the other side as well. Now, like I was mentioning about how wide this is, even like the wheel arc, I typically am not a fan of like this matte plastic black look. I usually prefer a more glossy look, but on this truck, and especially the way that you might want to use this off-roading and whatnot, this actually doesn't look all that bad. So you got the arc here matching with the front bumper there, and then of course on the rear you've also got the Fox Racing shocks, and then you get into these very nice, very cool looking and uniquely designed wheels. These are your 17-inch wheels, and again, with everything being kind of like this matte black finish, you even got the wheels in those, so that's another nice touch. And also, as for the tires, these are your 35-inch all-terrain tires. These things are pretty big and beefy, obviously for that off-road craziness. And if I do take a step back, you can see these wheels definitely look nice on the truck. And as for the suspension, this is your sport tune suspension for the front and rear. All right, so coming back to the bed area, right here on both the sides, typically you have the Raptor decaling. This particular truck is optioned for that to be removed, as you can obviously see. I think this is a nice clean look, but I mean, the graphic also looks pretty good as well on these trucks. Let me know in the comments down below, do you prefer a nice clean look or the Raptor decaling? Now, let's take a look at the rear of the truck. Just like the front, the uniqueness continues back here as well. You've got the same bumper setup at the back here, with obviously the plastic portion being the top area. There's also the rear safety sensors that run across. You've got two more recovery hooks, and then your hitches there in the center. You've got the dual exhaust, and I really like the tips on these because even this have like this matte black finish, really nice. And then if you look way underneath the truck here, you do have your spare tire hidden away. Around your license plate area, you do have all of your outlets, plugs and whatnot for your towing needs. And then you move into the tailgate area. Again, you have the black strip that stretches across, and in the center, just like the front, you have the massive Ford letters in the granite finish with the nice little lines. You've got the F-150 badge here, and of course the Raptor badge. And if you look up by the tailgate handle area, you've got not only your rear backup camera, but also a light. And then moving to your rear tail lights, these are also LED, and just like the front, these are also uniquely shaped, and I really like the designing on these. So yeah, very cool looking lights. And you have another light back here on the fender, just like I shown you on the front. And if you want to hear what this bad boy sounds like, well, let's go ahead and start it up. All right, let's go ahead and open up the tailgate and see what we have going on back here. It is a power opening tailgate, of course, so much easier. And if you just lift it like that, it is a power closing lift gate as well. How convenient is that? So if you have your hands tied, just put your knee on there and nudge it up, and up it goes. So let's go ahead and open this up again. And also an added feature or added option to this truck is the optional spray and bed liner, which I think is a must-have in any truck that you get. And as you see here on the tailgate, once you do put it down, you do have like this workspace. If you are going to use this as a work truck or just home renovations or whatever you're doing on your personal time, you have some spots here, and then you have this measuring section in the center. Very, very neat. And this also has the tailgate step built into the tailgate, which I really love. So if I just press this pops out just like that. Not only do you have the step, but you have a handle which extends out and pops up like that. So getting in and out of the bed is very, very easy. All right, now once you get inside of the bed here, you do have all of your hooks and stuff all on the corners. There's also the LED bed lighting, which is on both of the sides. And down here, you do have these outlets. So you do have 2 outlets down here, so you can power all your tools and all that good stuff. And over on this side, you have kind of like this hidden compartment, so you can tuck things away and just lock it away. Also, on the rear window here, you do have the power sliding middle section. And then if you take a look all the way at the top right there, you also have a bed camera. All right, let's go inside in the rear and take a look at what this truck has to offer. All right, so as you open up the door, you can see it's an all black interior, but there are bits and pieces that do stand out. Now, down here, you have a ton of room. Storage spot right here. You got your water bottle section here and a little bit more space right here under the speaker. Speaking of the speaker, here it is right here. You do have the nice Bang & Olufsen sound system in this, and I really like the aluminum plating on this. In the center of the door, you have more storage space, and then moving up here, you have soft touch material here, and then even up here, it's a little bit harder than this one, but still hard soft material up there with the orange contrast stitching that goes all the way around. You'll notice these orange bits and pieces all throughout the interior. And then up here, you've got this very nice looking like carbon fiber trimming. And then another spot here, if you want to use it for like garbage or another water bottle, you can definitely go ahead and use that. All right, let's check out the rear seats here because these are actually unique. Not only do you have the nice trimming all the way around, and even down here, more of that orange contrast stitching. You got the perforated middle sections, perforated rear section here as well. It also says Raptor back here, which you don't really see on a lot of vehicles that have the name or whatever it is imprinted into the front seats. It's also on the rear on this, so very nice touch there. And then you have the suede material on the sides. Even this is perforated, and I think this alone just makes this thing stand out. Even down here is the perforated section, so the outside sections, little trim pieces, are in suede. And not only that, the rear seats on the outside do come heated. And if we go ahead and pull down the middle section here, you've got your cup holders, and even on this little thing here, you have the nice orange contrast stitching. Now let's go ahead and lift up the rear seats so I can kind of show you what this looks like. So they go up very, very easily, and then you have this massive storage box area at the bottom. I really like this. You can tuck away a ton of things, put your gym bags, groceries, or even tools or small little things like that, and you can just hide it by putting the seat down. Okay, even though this is a pickup truck, I'm still gonna get inside here and show you the legroom and even the headroom. So let's jump in. All right, I'm in the truck back here. As you can see, my legroom is insane. Now, yes, you can move this seat more back. However, I'll still have a ton of legroom. Now, as for the headroom, no issues at all, even though I'm wearing a hat. And for reference, I am 5'11", so space in this is just insane. All right, now behind the driver and also the passenger seat, you do have ton of soft touch material. I love that there's no plastic whatsoever, and you do have the in-seat storage pockets, and that's again on the passenger side as well. So really like the soft touch material even behind the seats. Now if you move to your center console here, you do have your cup holders up here and more of like this nice aluminum trimming, and then you have just your venting. You've got your heated seat controls, you've got your 12-volt socket, and then way down here, you have USB ports and a 120-volt outlet. All right, now let's jump to the front and see if anything else is different or if it's all just the same. Now, right off the bat, the one thing that I can notice is the space down here. It is massive. Not only do you have the space, same thing here, your water bottle, but you have a deeper storage here and another water bottle section right there. You've got your same speaker right there. Everything else is identical to the rear that I've shown you, other than, of course, your typical window controls, side mirror controls, your lock controls, and then your memory seat controls for the driver's side. All right, now as for the front seats, these are just like the second row seats. And like I was mentioning, this right here is also within the seat. Typically, you don't see that on rear seats. So I really like that the seats in the back also have this. And again, you have the beautiful trimming, the contrast stitching here, perforated middle back sections, and the same suede on the sides. Very, very nicely done. And both of the front seats not only come heated, but also ventilated. And then on the side here is where you will find all of your power seat controls, more of the aluminum trimming right there. And then down here, you have this nice door sill piece. It says Ford Performance, very nice touch. Down here, just your typical foot pedals, and then over on the corner is where your hood latch releases. Moving further up, you have your electronic parking brake. Your foot controls or your foot pedals are actually adjustable, very, very nice. And then up here are all of your exterior lighting controls. And then here are your side mirror lighting controls, and then this right here is for your dimmable cluster area. And then when you move to your venting here, again, nice trimming throughout the whole truck, even right here with the nice like lines and stuff. It feels rough, so it goes with the whole theme of the truck. And then an orange trim piece here with the US flag. As for your steering wheel, this is power adjustable. Now, one thing that I want to quickly show you on the digital cluster area is when you do open the door, you have this beautiful graphic that plays in the center there. Very nice. And then on the touchscreen, it also says Ford Performance. So those are nice little details. And even when you start up the truck here, you do have, of course, your typical built Ford Tough animation, and even turning off the truck, more cool animations that play. All right, now once you get inside of the truck here, your whole dashboard is kind of unique actually, because you have like this hard soft material, the one that you kind of saw on the doors with the same orange contrast stitching. But then you have this section here with the lines and kind of gives it a nice rough texture, and then just your plain plastic. So a lot of things going on the dashboard, but very nice. You do have your speaker here, speaker right there, speaker right there, and same thing on the other side. One of my favorite things that this truck does have is the heads-up display. Always a nice thing to have in my opinion. And then you move into your 12-inch fully digital cluster area. I really like how everything is laid out in this, especially like your RPM section, your speed section, where it looks like gears. All the small little details like this go a long way, and I'm all for it. Also, as you can see, there is a main menu that popped up, and I can see all sorts of information in the digital cluster area. And all of that is controlled right through here. So if obviously I just go down, I can see a whole bunch of different information. If I go to my view, this is what it looks like. And even on this, if I press down, all of the information changes, and really you can see what you want to see in front of you. Here's what the steering wheel looks like. Very nice with the soft touch material, again with the contrast stitching. And you even have like this piece up here with more of a rough texture. Very nice and kind of stands out. Even down here, you have more of that granite trimming, kind of like what I've shown you on the exterior massive Ford letters. And then here it also says Raptor. And you have a blacked out Ford badge. And the steering wheel does come heated, which is a plus. Now over on the left side here you'll find all of your cruise control settings, follow distance, lane keep, and then the R button right here. If I do press that, it goes into this. It brings up my mode settings. You've also got the volume controls, Bluetooth controls, and then the other side has all of your cluster controls. You've got your steering controls of like if you want to put it into sport and whatnot. Same thing for the suspension, your seat controls, and then the different exhaust notes. And if you look behind the steering wheel, you can see the massive paddle shifters, and I really like the cutouts of like the minus and then the plus over here. Very small little details, but again, I'm all for it. And then behind the steering wheel is where you'll find your wiper controls, high beams, and indicators. And now if you move over to your center armrest area, this is also very unique. First of all, you have the soft touch material, the orange contrast stitching along with the black stitching as well. And you'll notice that there's a little latch here, and that's because this whole thing opens up for like a work surface, which is very useful. And in order to open this, first you got to put down your shifter here, and to put that down, all you got to do is just press this and down it goes. Then you come over here, open this bad boy up, and voila, you have this massive space to do your work, whatever you want, eat your lunch. You have it all right here. And let's go ahead and close this and then open up the main center area here. So you have a little tray that does pop out, and then inside you have a ton of room to literally store whatever you want, and USB ports inside. Now before I go and touch on all of the center console area, I just want to point out the trimming on the side here. You've got the granite trimming, which again, it's exactly like the exterior Ford letters, and then you have more space on the side here. It's on the passenger side as well, so both sides have that extra bit of storage. All right, now over here you have a few things. Obviously you have your shifter, which does pop down as you can see, and to bring it back up, you just press that again and up it comes. So right here, more of that nice orange contrast stitching. You've got your typical cup holders, and then here you have like this thin area to maybe put your phone, wallet, cards, or some small little things. And then back here you have this that does push back, and you have the nice trimming even on here. Really like this here, the rough texture. And then opening this up, you have more space, but not only that, you do have a wireless charging area for your phone and more USB ports. And then you move up here, so you've got quite a few things here actually. So let's start on the left side. You got your trailer brake controller here, all of your different modes, your 2 high, 4 high, all that good stuff is there. Also up top here, you have your pro trailer controls. And then in the center here, you have all of your heating and cooling temperature controls along the bottom, along with the heated steering wheel control, heated and vented seat controls for the front, and then of course the passenger side. And then above this is all of your touchscreen controls slash your hazards, traction control, and then your camera controls. And then on the right side, you have a 12-volt socket and then a 120-volt outlet. And then even like on the side here, now this is a very, very small little thing. I really don't have to show this, but it says F series and you have like the textured line trim piece. Now before I touch on the touchscreen here, I just want to quickly show you the cameras on this. So if I just press the camera button, you do have the bird's eye view, the top view, and then here is your front camera. So if I go ahead and press this here, it shows a bunch of different ones. So let's go to the second option here, which is your full front view. And then if I press it again, go to the last one, here is kind of like this panoramic wide view of the front camera. If I go to this is your bed camera that I was mentioning, so you can see all your things back here if you are towing or have some stuff in the back. And then also is your rear camera, which is typical. Here is the hitch camera and what it looks like. And then also, if I go back in, here is the side cameras, but facing rear. Then lastly, you have this camera plus. So once you do have your trailer connected, this will populate. And then you just get into your 12-inch touchscreen. Now something that I really like about this is that not only do you have a main screen here, but then you have a mini screen off to the side, which you can view different information on both of them. So really you can see a lot of stuff at once. So the first section that we're in is the audio section. This will just be like your AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, and whatnot. And then you have your phone section once you do have it paired with the truck. Next is the navigation. So you have your map that's built in. Next is the favorites section. So here you can adjust these. If there's certain things that you use often, you can just have them all in here. And then if you go under apps, here you'll find your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You've even got YouTube on this, pretty nice. And then under settings, these are all your typical stuff that you find in any vehicle. So you can just go through all of that and adjust it to your liking. And then you have the features section. Here you have quite a few things. For instance, you have your driver assistance section. So this is all your safety controls or the safety features that come with the truck, so you can turn them on, off, and adjust it to your liking. If I head back, you've also got the Pro Power onboard system here. So like I was showing you in the bed, so this you could turn on and off. So as you can see, it's off right now, and right now it's on. And then even for the rear, I've turned on the rear now, and then there's obviously a plug inside the truck, so you have plugs inside and outside. So I really like that. You can literally just plug in whatever you want, and yeah, you can also test it. You've got the generator mode as well, pretty neat. But let's go ahead and turn that back off, and then let's go back. You've also got the zone lighting, like I was mentioning, on the side mirrors and also on the tailgate. If I press on, I can turn on all of the lights around the truck all at once, or I can do one at a time. So that's pretty neat. Let's head back. There's also the towing section here. So you have your connection checklist. You can add a trailer and then turn on or off all of these settings here. There's also, with this truck, the trail turn assist, so you can turn that on or off however you want. Let's go back, and then you just got your owner's manual. So now let's talk about the little mini screen here. As you can see, if I just press the arrows, I can flick through a bunch of different things, or I can just press this and I can just scroll through all the different information. Also, you'll notice above the touchscreen here, you have two more controls if this focuses. So there you go. The first one right here is for your parking chimes, so you can turn them on or off. And then the second one right here, if I just press this is your trail control. So you have those two buttons up there. And then if you move further up on the dashboard, you have kind of like this little storage area up top, maybe for your wallet or something. But yeah, you have that there. Up top, you just got your standard rear view mirror. And then if we move further up here, you've got 6 auxiliary switches, so you can put on accessories, all that good stuff, and yeah, you can just utilize these. Here you have your sunglasses area, and then here you have your rear power sliding window controls, and then your sunroof controls as well, and then the interior lighting controls. Here is what the key fob looks like for the Raptor, just your typical Ford key. All right, let's come around to the passenger side and take a look at what we have going on over here. You'll notice on this side, you do have like this nice same trimming actually that you saw on the doors here, like the carbon fiber type trimming, and this does open up. And to open that, you just press this and you have like this kind of like a hidden compartment area or extra storage if you want to call it. Not quite hidden, but yeah. And then you just have the typical glove compartment space. And I really like how I was mentioning around the vents on that side, this aluminum trimming that stretches across the middle section here. Very, very nicely done. And here is the window sticker for this Ford Raptor. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars. Well, that does it for the review on this 2025 Ford F-150 Raptor. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this beast?